just fall out of a coconut tree. I'm your host, Ella Yurman. Tonight, we've got an exploration of policing alternatives, a peek behind the curtain of New York's legal weed rollout. Violet Stanza is here! And an explanation for why I look like this. Dark hair makes it easier to hide the ratatouille mouse up there. But first, Alex Garland's film, Civil War, reached #1 at the box office this past weekend. Thank God! Now more than ever, Americans need a place to sit back and watch war unfold. This month, 3 nonprofits sued the FDA for its delays in banning menthol cigarettes. Responded an FDA attorney, narcs. The Supreme Court is ready to ban sleeping outdoors in public spaces, even if cities don't provide shelter. I don't know. Pretty f***ed up coming from people who spend their whole lives on a bench. A flight passenger was recently fined after pissing in a cup. Said security, next time less than 3.4 ounces. The FTC has voted to ban non-compete clauses, which would worry me if there were any other trans-led internet comedy shows for my writers to work for. Universities nationwide have called in violent military forces to arrest students peacefully protesting the genocide in Gaza, proving there really is no such thing as a safety school. The 99-cent store has filed for bankruptcy, which makes sense. After Flacco, a beloved escaped zoo owl, died from rat poison, New York lawmakers are considering giving rats birth control. Classic Eric Adams, subsidizing healthcare but only for his friends. The White House has condemned the pro-Palestine protests at Columbia University as blatantly anti-Semitic. You know, people say Joe Biden hasn't accomplished anything, but isn't it sort of an accomplishment to make the word anti-Semitism lose all meaning? Hitler could never. Joe Biden signed a bill into law this weekend that threatens to unalive TikTok if its parent company ByteDance doesn't sell the app in the next 9 months. Damn, only 9 months? Time is running out. TikTok. Moving on to our first story. Last week, Governor Hochul and Mayor Adams interrupted 420 to jointly announce that you are high, you have been quiet for a super long time, your friends do hate you, and the cops are on their way. No, for real. The cops are on their way. The state has encouraged law enforcement to raid illegal dispensaries, confiscate cannabis, and revoke liquor, tobacco, and lottery licenses after bungling the legalization rollout. Here to weigh in on the mess is the owner of the dispensary that just opened up next to my apartment!
Shh! Ella! Don't blow my spot!
Oh, shit, sorry. Wait, New York legalized weed. Why are you so nervous?
So it's not exactly a legal operation. We technically sell RBG bobbleheads and gift weed alongside them. But every day I wake up and pray our license gets approved so I never have to look at a white woman's bobbling head ever again. No offense.
My head doesn't bobble.
Wow.
Wait, so you've applied for a license?
Yes, in 2021, when Cuomo legalized recreational cannabis to distract from his sexual harassment hobby. But big weed ruined everything.
Big weed? You mean like cannabis corporations?
Yup. New York State said they would give licenses to people who've been shafted by weed policies in the past before letting big corporations move in. They gave us a 3-year head start, but those 3 years are almost up, and very few of us have been able to actually open a legal store. Hochul says it's because of bureaucratic mishaps and lawsuits. But I know the truth. It's big weed! It's everywhere! Look!
I don't see anything. I think you're being paranoid. Big Weed isn't filing lawsuits to stop small businesses from opening. What about the veterans that sued New York State? They delayed the rollout, and that wasn't Big Weed.
Oh! But it was!
Whoa! The veterans case was a co-trial with the New York Medical Cannabis Association. That's a trade group of the biggest weed companies in the country.
See? Big weed.
I think maybe I saw something that time.
Okay, good. If you didn't, I was gonna drive myself to the hospital. Haven't had visuals this crazy since I did Molly with the naked cowboy at the Times Square Old Navy.
I just can't believe that Big Weed is sabotaging the state's attempt at a cannabis reparations.
They're not sabotaging the state, Ella. They are the state!
Oh my God! Eric Adams' old chief of staff is on the board of Curaleaf, the biggest weed company in the country.
Yup. Big Weed was literally in the mayor's office.
My father, Eric Adams.
Oh my God, I see it now. I see the Big Weed. I thought you were just greened out, but Big Weed is everywhere, and the state is letting its own rollout get screwed.
Yup. And now Eric Adams and Big Weed are out to get me. Which is why I can't sell you weed, but I can sell you this. And gift you this. Oh, until the cops raid my store.
Wait, so in an attempt to explicitly address our nation's racist history of criminalizing cannabis users and sellers, New York ended up introducing more policing into an already unfair and heavily policed market?
Yes, and Biden's national plan to reclassify weed from a Schedule 1 drug to a Schedule 3 will also only help.
Let me guess. Big Weed! Shut up, Big Weed!
Schedule 3 only protects products that have been approved by the FDA, a process that costs millions of dollars. Which only is something that Big Weed has, and gay guys.
Thank you, Big Weed!
But if you really think about it, if you really stop to think about it, oh shit, I forgot what I was gonna say. Probably something about how we need to holistically remove cops from everywhere, especially the cannabis market. Hey, if I ordered pizza, would anyone want some?
The owner of the dispensary that just opened up near me, everybody!
And now, fresh from making love at the Columbia Gaza Solidarity Encampment, Violet Stanza!
I think I'll always remember how I trembled at the goodwill, spinning in circles round a small room in an emerald colored gown. 17 passed me by so quickly, like a bad dream. Goodbye, 19. That was before I knew my body, how she loves me when I'm down. 'Cause I don't cry on my birthday anymore. I'm not scared when I look in the mirror. I think I wanna live past 24. Goddamn, I never said that before. Who knew I was fucking beautiful? High-heeled spins till I'm on the kitchen floor. Call it sin, but my laugh's hysterical. God's plan was a myth after all. My lipstick on the Q train. It gets messy when I'm smiling. I love playing dress up with me and my best friend who go to a bar in our tiniest dresses. I think I look heavenly, and tonight I want your hands on me, because I don't cry on my birthday anymore. I'm not scared when I look in the mirror. I think I wanna live past 24. Goddamn, I've never said that before. Who knew I was fucking beautiful? High-heeled spins till I'm on the kitchen floor. Call it sin, but my laugh's hysterical. God's plan was a myth after all. Kissing in a crowded room, I can't take my eyes off you. Baby, say my name, I am not ashamed. Touch me like you did that first night. I won't catch my breath till midnight. Baby, say my name, I am not ashamed. I don't cry on my birthday anymore. I'm not scared when I look in the mirror. I think I wanna live past 24. Goddamn, I've never said that before. Thanks, y'all. Oh my god, thanks. I'm not even done yet. That's crazy.
Welcome back! In our final story tonight, prison abolition. What is it? Is it possible, or is it just something people say to get laid in Bushwick? Let's start off by acknowledging an obvious and uncomfortable truth. I am a white woman. I look like I'm about to gentrify your neighborhood and then call the cops on you for speaking Spanish too close to me. But this piece was written and researched by our only black writer, seen here in her office. So rest assured, this story was made possible by the exhaustive unpaid labor of a queer black woman. Phew, racism averted. Abolition is the belief that prisons, policing, and the justice system are self-perpetuating social ills that do not keep us safe, and in fact, cause more harm than good. Prison abolition aims not only to abolish incarceration, but to reshape society to address the root causes of crime, like poverty, racism, and the overpowering urge to steal from Brandy Melville. If you see a group of girlies standing outside Brandy Melville, those skinny bitches are plotting an Ocean's 11-style heist. The three pillars of abolitionism are moratorium, stop building cages, decarceration, get people out of prison, and excarceration, addressing crime through humane means by investing in social services. Because nobody deserves to be locked in a cage for anything, except for being a very bad girl. Ooh. What was that? Is that the horny police? No. It's just the tiny cop inside of you who's stroking his little cop mustache and asking, wait, without cops, who will keep us safe? Great question, tiny cop. After all, cops solve crimes, right? Isn't that what they're doing on their phones all day? Well, according to study after study after study, no. A New York Times review of national dispatch data found that just 4% of officers' time is devoted to violent crime. 4% of your time is not a job. I devote 4% of my time commissioning Mitch McConnell furry smut, but I'd hardly call myself a patron of the arts. Even in the rare moments when police have actually attempted to solve crimes, they've never successfully done so with any regularity. So, in the words of philosopher Bianca Del Rio,
let me ask you a very fair question. What do you do successfully? Quickly.
mostly traffic stops and racism. According to dispatch data from 6 major cities, police spend most of their time on noise complaints and traffic violations. And who are they stopping? When I look down at this script, it better not say black and brown people. God damn it! 41% of black Americans say they have been stopped or detained by police because of their race. Black Americans are 3.5 times more likely to be killed by police than white Americans, with 55.5% of those deaths going misclassified or unreported by the National Vital Statistics Survey. And at this point, you should probably already know about the brutal, unjust, and deeply tragic murders of George Floyd, Tamir Rice, Breonna Taylor, Sandra Bland, Oscar Grant. The list goes on and on. If you don't know, take a minute to educate yourself, because the writer of this piece is a dangerously mentally ill queer black woman, and if I had forced her to research and recount those stories for this episode, she promised to, quote, take off her belt and beat me till the white meat show. I don't know what that means, and I don't want to find out. And what about the lesbos, the gays? The cops don't give two singular, solitary about our safety either, even if one of them is technically in the Village People. Queer people are 6 times more likely to be stopped by the police in public, and 48% of queer survivors faced police misconduct while attempting to report violence enacted against them. So the police aren't keeping us safe. But, uh-oh. Here comes the tiny warden inside of you, and she's asking, what about prisons? Prison keep us safe? Whoa, tiny warden. Loud voice for being so small and inside of me. Also, no they don't. An analysis of 116 studies found that prison time doesn't prevent people from reoffending, and in fact, it can increase the likelihood that they will, which makes sense. I chained myself to this desk to stop myself from dunking Nancy Pelosi lookalikes in toilets. But now I want to do it more and in Washington with the real Nancy. That's right, I should be banned from bathrooms, but not for the reasons you think. So, if policing in prisons are so bad, why do we keep doing it? Well, for the same reason they keep making young Sheldons. Money. There are about 4,000 companies making bank off the criminal justice system. Taxpayers spend roughly $87 billion on public prisons and jails, and $3.9 billion on private prisons and jails. Baltimore is spending $1 billion on a new prison right now. God damn! If we gotta spend tax dollars on shit that doesn't work and causes harm, can't it at least be on something cool? Like a giant Mechagodzilla. Or an even younger Sheldon. Ooh, what's that? Is that the tiny carceral feminist on your shoulder? We all have one, and mine looks like this. Is she asking, well, what about intimate partner violence? What about the rapists? The current systems aren't making it safer for survivors of intimate partner violence or sexual violence either. Calling the police on your partner can result in further harm, physically, emotionally, and financially. In some instances, victims who report domestic disturbances are themselves arrested. According to the DOJ's 2015 Ferguson report, one woman called the cops to report a domestic disturbance and instead was given a summons for an occupancy permit violation. Afterwards, she said she, quote, hated the Ferguson Police Department and will never call again, even if she is being killed. She's not alone. A 2015 survey from the National Domestic Violence Hotline found that 1 in 4 survivors said they wouldn't call the police in the future because police would either not believe them or make things worse. Duh. Everyone knows that the only way to stop a rapist is a good rapist with a gun. A promising pilot program that could have prevented intimate partner violence without police intervention was introduced in California and then vetoed by Gavin Newsom. So glad he's using that big weird head to block progress. Look at that thing. He looks like Mr. Met. Alternatives to Alternatives to policing have existed informally for centuries, particularly in communities of color. Black people know that there's a list of numbers you call if something happens, and none of those are 911. But there are also more formal options that haven't been vetoed by a guy with an Easter Island-ass head. The Crisis Assistance Helping Out on the Streets, or CAHOOTS, is a program in Eugene, Oregon that dispatches their staff to respond to urgent mental health crises. The staff are a coalition of trained EMTs, behavioral healthcare workers, and people who've experienced mental health issues. Wait, they hire people who've experienced mental health issues? Be right back, I gotta go update my resume. CAHOOTS comes to the scene where a person is experiencing a mental health issue and finds immediate and ongoing mental health care. Their methods work and reduce police activity, but they still work with police for protection. NYC's program Be Heard also addresses behavioral health issues, but if a weapon is involved, guess who shows up? That's right, the cops. Cure Violence Global is the only program that sort of eliminated cops from the equation. It's a nonprofit founded by Gary Slutkin. And no, we will not be making a joke about his name, because this is a classy show for intellectuals. Originating in Chicago in the year 2000, the program has been implemented worldwide, reducing killings in Baltimore by 56%, in Charlotte, North Carolina by 74%, and in Honduras by a whopping 94%. Their approach is simple. They collaborate with paraprofessional health workers and previously at-risk members of the community, teaching them intervention techniques that curb violence and help address the root of the problem, like not making those Brandy Melville clothes so easy to steal. These programs are wildly successful, but they're also wildly underfunded. So what do we do? What can we do? Well, you can find out about alternative and transformative justice programs in your area and support them, and call your representatives and ask them to be funded. And you can stop supporting corporations that benefit from prison labor, like McDonald's, and Walmart, and Target, and Tyson, and Coca-Cola, and Kroger, and Starbucks, and Aldi, and Chipotle, and Eggland's Best, and Land O'Lakes, and a vast majority of airlines, and Burger King, and Pepsi, and General Mills. Oh my God, that's so many brands. It seems like it's damn near impossible to not contribute to prison labor and exploitation. Holy crap. But you should still try. Let's be real. This is a public access show run by 12 parakeets being paid in meth-dusted pistachios. I can't galvanize the American public into mass action, and even if I could get every single one of you to overcome your phone call anxiety, how much could we really alter the ubiquitous and profitable system of exploitation? We get like 10,000 viewers on average, and a significant amount of those viewers are bots with their pussies in bio. I may have Taylor Swift's tits and John Oliver's whiny elitism, but I don't have the influence of either of those people. What I can ask you to do is expand your imagination. When do we ever envision worlds without policing or imprisonment? From Law and Order to Disney movies like Coco and Inside Out to the never-ending deluge of Marvel war pig propaganda, we're taught that even in fiction, our worlds require policing and punishment to maintain a sense of safety. We need new movies. That's what this whole piece is about. Yeah! No. But we need to change our carceral mindset, and that begins with how we deal with one another. Seek out and support businesses that employ formerly incarcerated people. Rethink the way we envision and talk about safety. Rethink cancellation and just writing people off forever because things in your polycule didn't work out. The notion of meeting violence done against us with compassion instead of more violence is so easy to hand-wave away as out of touch with reality, despite the provable fact that it works and policing doesn't. ACAB means the cops on the street, the cops on Blue Bloods, the judges, prosecutors, and politicians who enable police violence. But most importantly, ACAB goes for the little cop inside of you who can't envision justice outside of a carceral system. Kill that cop.
Alrighty, freeze! Ella Yurman, you are under arrest.
Why? For inciting violence against the police?
Yes, and for being so damn sexy.
Oh my God! It is the horny police! I knew you were real! We'll be right back! That's our show! Thank you to Parikh, to Octavia, to Reid, to our live studio audience. Get up for yourselves! Thank you to our patrons, and thank you to Big Weed's dad, Eric Adams. Good night! Hi, thanks so much for watching Late Stage Live with Ella Yurman. That's me, Ella Yurman. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, maybe even throw us a bone and share it around, or leave a comment down below if you're nasty. If you want to support our production needs and help us keep making indie, queer, leftist, late-night comedy, you can head on over to our Patreon at patreon.com/latestagelive. That's patreon.com/latestagelive. End of video.